Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Legend, and I am back with another video. You already know what this says just by looking at the thumbnail. What if Naruto was sent to the Akame got killed universe? If you guys like this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it, like goal for this video. It's going to be the usual 5 likes as always. But without further ado, let's just get into this intro so we can start this what if.
And now, this world shall know pain. Almighty. Push.
Leone led Naruto through the winding corridors of the Night Raid hideout, her hands casually tucked behind her head as she strolled barefoot on the stone floor. The base was hidden deep within the mountain system, cool and dimly lit, with the occasional torch flickering along the walls. Despite the looming air of secrecy, there was a certain warmth to the place, as if the rebellion that lived there breathed life into every crack. "So," she said, glancing over her shoulder at the stoic blonde following her, "even if you don't stick around, you might as well know who sleeps where. You know, in case you get bored and feel like sneaking around." Naruto didn't respond beyond a quiet nod, his hands buried in his pockets of his tattered cloak. His expression was unreadable, as always, but his eyes moved with sharp curiosity. Leone smirked and pushed open a wooden door. "This one's Akame's room. Don't touch anything unless you want to wake up with a missing hand." The room was surprisingly clean and minimalist. A single bed, a rack for a sword, and neatly stacked books along the wall. The faint scent of steel and herbs lingered in the air. "Tatsumi's over here." She tapped another door further down. "He hasn't decorated much. It's kind of boring, but the kid means well." She continued down the hall. "This one's Shell's room. Super neat freak. She labels everything, even her socks." Naruto raised an eyebrow slightly, but said nothing. Leone chuckled. "Lubbock's room is right next to Najida's, which is either the smartest or dumbest thing ever. He swears it's a coincidence." They passed a room with a few crude drawings taped on the wall. "This is Iesu's room. He likes to doodle, kind of adorable. And next to him is Seo's room. They usually hang out together." Naruto studied the rooms silently, committing the layout to memory with precise calculation. Leone turned a corner and stopped at a door with a golden tassel dangling from the handle. "And finally," she said with a grin, "my room. Come on, I'll show you." She stepped inside without hesitation. Naruto followed, his steps cautious. Leone's room was a wild contrast to the others. The walls were draped with colorful fabrics, fur-lined rugs covered the floor, and a hammock-like bed swung from thick chains bolted into the ceiling. Shelves of liquor perfume bottles and shiny trinkets lined the wall. "Cozy, right?" she said, stretching luxuriously before flopping backward onto the hammock. Her golden eyes gleamed mischievously as she watched Naruto scan the room with mild interest. He stepped inside fully, taking a moment to glance around. Leone set up, her grin growing wider. "You know, not many guys get to see my room. You must be special." Naruto blinked slowly. "Is that important?" She nearly facepalmed. "Depends on how you look at it." She sauntered over to him, closing the gap between them. Her fingers brushed against his sleeve. "So, you in that cloak, hiding something underneath? Maybe some abs? A scar? You a dangerous man, Naruto?" Naruto stared blankly. "I've had surgeries." Leone faltered for a moment, but recovered with a smirk. "Oh, mysterious. I like that." She leaned forward, her chest brushing against his arm. You're not nervous around women, are you? Naruto tilted his head, genuinely confused. Why would I be nervous? Leone backed off, flustered. Her flirtatious swagger briefly cracked into something more irritated. You're seriously killing the mood here. I just threw, like, my best moves. Naruto shrugged. Are we done with the tour? Leone groaned and flopped back onto her bed. Yeah. Get out of here before I actually try something stupid. Naruto left the room without a second glance. Elsewhere, the capital's icy citadel stood in stark contrast to the oppressive warmth of the rebellion's hideout. Frost clung to every pillar, every blade of grass frozen by the presence of its master. Esdeath sat atop her frost-forged throne, legs crossed, chin resting on the back of her gloved hand. Her eyes, sharper than icicles, skimmed the parchment in her other hand. A scout's report. A letter that was vague but intriguing. Subject has been seen taming a Class B aquatic danger beast, identified as an armored water viper. Beast appears non-hostile to him. Subject demonstrates an unknown ability to vanish from detection, blending with nature or surroundings with no known tegu, possibly illusion-based. Subject shows healing capabilities by touch, witnessed regenerating wounds in others within seconds. Subject produces identical, solid duplicates of himself, at least 3 witnessed working independently before vanishing. Esdeath's lips curled into a wolfish smile. Fascinating. She let the paper drop to the frozen tiles. A man who heals, tames beast, and walks unseen. And no name? She licks her lips. I want him. The air grew colder. Prepare my escort. We return to the capital. Back at the lake. The silver lake glittered under the moonlight. Its waters calm and deep. Trees swayed gently around the shoreline, casting long shadows. Naruto stood at the edge, staring into the water. He crouched, brushing his hand across the surface. A massive ripple disturbed the quiet. From the depths, the armored water viper rose. Its serpentine body shimmered beneath the surface. Plates of natural armor gleaming like whetstone. Its head was massive, eyes glowing faintly, but its expression, if it had one, was docile. Naruto held his hand out. The beast nudged him gently, like a dog asking for attention. Good to see you too, buddy, Naruto murmured. He leapt gracefully onto the creature's back as it floated near the shore. The beast glided across the water, ripples spreading in a wide circle. From behind the trees, 3 figures watched in stunned silence. Tatsumi crouched poorly in the underbrush, whispered, Is he riding that thing? That's the danger beast we fought 2 weeks ago, Ieyasu hissed. It nearly tore through 3 squads. Seiyo leaned forward, wide-eyed. He's petting it like it's a puppy. Naruto's voice drifted to them. You can come out now. The trio froze. He turned his head, expression unreadable. You guys should work on hiding your chakra, or whatever the fuck it is that you use. They stepped out, sheepishly. Eyes still fixed on the beast. The viper let out a low hiss, not in warning, but recognition. You're really something else, Tatsumi said. Naruto gave a small smile. Just barely. Yeah, he replied. I get that a lot. The viper circled once more, then dipped beneath the surface, vanishing without a trace. As Naruto stepped onto the shore, the others simply stared at him, awestruck. Naruto, as always, said nothing more. But far across the land, a storm was already forming, and her name was Esdeath. The moment Tatsumi, Seiyo, and Ieyasu stepped back into the hideout mountain base, they didn't even pause to catch their breath. Their voices overlapped with a strange mix of awe and disbelief as they hurriedly explained what they had seen at the lake. He was riding it, Ieyasu burst out, eyes wide, hands flailing for emphasis. Tatsumi nodded rapidly. The same Class B aquatic danger beast that nearly wiped out 3 squads last month. He just sat on his back like it was a damn horse. And it let him touch it. It nuzzled him, Sayo added, her tone half whispered, as if she still wasn't sure if it hadn't been a dream. The gathered members of Night Raid exchanged skeptical glances. Leone leaned forward with a teasing smirk. You three sure you didn't just hit your heads out there? Or eat some bad mushrooms? I know what I saw, Tatsumi shot back, usually firm. Before anyone could say more, the base's heavy doors creaked open, heads turned as Naruto walked in, cloaked in his tattered black garb, steps silent and fluid. Naruto passed through the room like mist, unbothered, unreadable. He moved between the groups in the hallway, without even a glance, as if their conversation hadn't been about him at all. An awkward silence followed. Okay, Lubbock said, eyes narrowing. I want to know who the hell that guy really is. Everyone nodded, even Leone, who folded her arms and leaned against the wall and with her smirk fading. For all their time with Naruto so far, no one actually knew anything about him. Days later, curiosity grew like mold in the cracks of the base. Each member of Night Raid took their turn probing the mystery that was Naruto Uzumaki. Akame was the first to confront him. She approached him one morning in the courtyard, where he stood beneath the pale light, staring at the mountains. You never train with us, she said bluntly. I train when I need to, he replied. You're hiding your strength. He turned his head, golden blue eyes locking with hers. And you carry the weight of every kill like a blade to the soul. They stood in silence. For a moment, Akame didn't press further, but something in her gaze lingered, as if studying a puzzle missing half its pieces. Najinda took a more official approach. She sent coded inquiries to her contacts, asking about any unknown operative matching Naruto's description. She received nothing but silence. No known Tegu, no criminal record, not even a face match in an army database. When that failed, she began pushing her intel network deeper, searching not just for the man, but where he came from. The effort was subtle. At least she thought it was subtle. Shell was the first to spot something disturbing. During a sparring session, Naruto took a knife wound to the shoulder, a clean cut. By the time Shell finished patching up another member, she returned to check on him. The gash was gone, not scabbed over, gone, smooth skin, no scar. He simply looked at her and said, I recover fast. But Shell had never seen anything heal like that. Lubbock, in all his roguish confidence, decided to tell Naruto when he left the base at dusk. It was supposed to be easy. He'd done it 100 times with targets twice as careful. He followed Naruto down the mountain trails, into the woods. Every step was calculated, every breath measured. But then Naruto simply vanished. One blink and he was gone. No sound, no tracks. Lubbock searched for an hour before slinking back, muttering to himself, this guy's either got magic or I suck. Meanwhile, Leone made it her personal mission to crack Naruto through sheer charm. Over the course of several days, she tried everything from flirtatious banter to lounging around his quarters uninvited, but Naruto endured it all with calm indifference. Come on, she once purred, draping herself along the arm of his chair. You're not completely immune to women, are you? Naruto blinked slowly. No. Just not looking for a weakness. Leone had never been so stumped by a man in her life. It all came to a head 3 days later. Naruto called for a meeting. Night Raid gathered in the war room. every member seated around the ironwood table. Najida leaned back in her chair, arms crossed. Akame stood silently behind her. Tatsumi, Seiyo, and Ieyasu sat at the end, still wide-eyed with admiration. Lubbock lounged with feigned ease. Shell watched with subtle tension. Leone stretched her feet on the table. This better be good, Blondie. Naruto stood at the center, arms folded. I know you've all been digging into my past, he said plainly. Some of you followed me, others searched records. One even tried sending coded messages out the base. Najida's jaw tensed. You're all adults. I get it. Trust needs proof. He swept his gaze across the room. But if you want to know something about me, ask me. Don't go behind my back. A heavy silence settled. Then Naruto looked directly at Najida. Stop looking for where I came from. Her single eye narrowed, but she said nothing. You won't like what you find, not because of me, not because of the place, but because of the people that reside there. He stepped forward, voice quiet and cold. You are all adults, trained killers, revolutionaries. But the children, from where I come from, they will make all of you look like toddlers. The ones who taught me, you wouldn't even see them coming. He let that sink in before continuing. So unless you want the wrong eyes focused on you, dangerous, obsessive eyes, stop. I left that place behind for a reason. Don't drag it here. With that, he turned and left the room. No one followed. Later that week, Tatsumi's first mission. Tatsumi could barely contain his excitement as he checked his weapons for the third time. Akame, Shell, and Bulat were sitting up around him. You'll be fine, Bulat said with a friendly grin. Just remember, you're training. Stick with us. The target was a corrupt noble known for taxing nearby villages into starvation. The plan, infiltration, elimination, and extraction. They reached the city under cover, slipping through the back alleyways until they located the manor. Akame struck first. One guard dropped before he could even scream. Shell slipped in through the servant entrance, disabling alarms. Tatsumi moved with Bulat, heart hammering. They found the noble feasting while villagers starved outside. It didn't take long. Akame's blade gleamed. The noble's head hit the table. But as they were leaving, the unexpected happened. Reinforcements, a hidden squad loyal to the noble. Tatsumi fought his first real duel, face to face, with a veteran swordsman. Steel clashed and sparks flew. He took a hit to the shoulder, but pressed on, disarming the man with a wild strike. Nice, Bulat said, nodding in approval. They escaped with minor injuries, but it was a clear success. Tatsumi had proven himself. In the shadows, far above, hidden in the trees, Naruto watched the battle unfold. When the extra guards appeared, his body tensed, ready to intervene, but Tatsumi held his own. They all did. Naruto remained unseen as the group slipped into the darkness, victorious. His gaze lingered on the rooftops. A crow called once, then silence. Satisfied, he vanished. Back at the base, the returning Night Raid members celebrated Tatsumi's first mission with cheers and drinks. Naruto watched from a distance, leaning against the far wall, expression unreadable. He didn't speak, didn't join in, but for a moment, just a flicker, he smiled. 2 days later, the sun had barely risen when Seiyo sprinted across the clearing, sweat already dampening her shirt. Naruto leaned against the nearby tree, arms folded and eyes half-lidded as Tatsumi and Ieyasu stumbled behind her, panting and red-faced. You're late, Naruto said flatly, pushing off the bark with fluid ease. By 3 minutes! Tatsumi shot back, scowling. Naruto shrugged. 3 minutes in battle can be the difference between a scratch and a grave. Don't waste them. They'd asked him 2 days ago, well, begged him to train them. All three, wide-eyed and stubborn, standing before him with enough raw hope to store the dead. He agreed reluctantly to 30 minutes a day, no more, no less. First drill, target recognition, and movement. Naruto pointed to the forest line, where he had hung painted tags among the trees, red for allies, black for hostile. You have 10 seconds to memorize them. After that, I change their positions. You'll run the path and identify without hesitation. Wrong answer, you'll run it again, blindfolded. Seiya was already nodding, eyes sharp with focus. She paid close attention, far more than the boys, and Naruto noticed how she mirrored his stance, sometimes trying to copy the deliberate control in his movements. He hadn't said anything yet, but part of him quietly respected it. Ieyasu gravitated towards Naruto's sword drills, picking up quickly on feints and close quarter transitions. He wasn't precise yet, but his hands had learned to move with purpose. Tatsumi, meanwhile, threw himself into the physical aspect using sheer willpower to push through Naruto's brutal circuits of body conditioning and hand-to-hand counters. The boy lacked subtlety, but made up for it with unshakable drive. Still, Naruto kept his distance. Again, he barked as Tatsumi hesitated at a corner and chose the wrong tag. But he started. You hesitated. You're dead. Start over. Seiya said nothing, already sprinting forward with teeth gritted and fists tight. Naruto watched them without a smile. That night, the mansion was quiet, save for the distant sound of Lubbock arguing with Bulat over laundry. Naruto had retreated early to his room, sliding the door shut with a soft thunk. Inside, he stood before a small shrine of sorts, a low table that held 3 framed photographs. The largest one was of Team 7, him, Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi, their younger faces smiling in forced joy. The second was a shinobi photo of his Anbu unit, all in masks, but with Naruto clearly at the center, face bloodied, eyes tired. The third photo was older, slightly faded, a red-haired woman with warm eyes and a blonde man in a Hokage cloak. He sat down, pulling out a cloth to polish the glass. He didn't hear Leone approaching. She'd waited until the rest of the night raid members was distracted before slinking through the hallways. Her steps light and predatory. The intent was simple: surprise him, tease him, maybe learn more about the man who hid behind a wall of wry smiles and curt orders. She liked mysteries, and Naruto Uzumaki was a walking vault of them. But when she opened the door silently, expertly, what she saw froze her mid-step. The room wasn't lit, except by a faint moonlight spilling through the window. Naruto knelt in front of 3 photos, his back turned but shoulders hunched, tight, coiled, and vulnerable. She didn't recognize the people in the pictures, but she recognized him, the boy in both of them, younger, smaller, but with the same eyes. And for the first time, she really understood what he meant during the meeting 2 nights ago. I left that place for a reason. Don't drag it back. It hadn't just been bravado or bitterness, it was truth. Leone swallowed, throat suddenly dry. This wasn't a soldier who grew into war. This was someone who had been built for it. From the moment he could walk, everything, his calmness under pressure, his unreadable face, his refusal to get close, was armor, not for battle, but for emotion. And he wore it so damn well. She stepped back, quietly, not wanting to be noticed, but a floorboard creaked and Naruto stiffened. You came here to seduce me, he said without turning. Leone froze, her usual bravado crumbling. That obvious, huh? He stood, still not facing her. You're not the first. You won't be the last. People always want what they think they can fix. I wasn't, she started, then stopped. What was the point in lying? I just wanted to see who you were under the mask. He turned then, not angrily, not defensively, just tired. There's no under. The mask is me. Whatever's left is buried with the people in those photos. His words weren't cruel, but they cut like a blade. Leone for once didn't know what to say. So she looked down at the photo of the 4 kids. 3 of them were smiling. One, the smallest, grinning too wide to be forced. How old were you? She asked quietly. 12, Naruto said. First kill was at 12. I buried 2 of my first friends when I was 12. The silence that followed was suffocating. That's why you won't let anyone close, Leone finally asked. Because you're afraid of more graves. Naruto didn't answer. Instead, he looked out the window, eyes reflecting the slight silver light that haunted the glass. I'm not afraid of more graves, he said after a moment. I'm afraid of not feeling anything when they happen. The words lingered in the air like a curse. Before Leone could respond, a piercing alarm rang throughout the hideout. The emergency alert, used only when someone breached the perimeter. Naruto's entire demeanor changed in one motion. He snatched his black cloak and shoved open the door and vanished into the hallway. Leone blinked, and he was gone. She stared at the photos once more. The smallest kid smiled at her from behind the glass, forever frozen and a lie he had to live through. Then she whispered, "Who the hell are you really, Naruto Uzumaki?" But guys, I'm going to end it off right there. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it. Remember the like goal for the video is 5 likes. But for now, I am out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay blessed, y'all.